And I said, well.
And back here with Johnny Lee Dees this morning. How was that Southern Baptist Convention?
Well, we had a great time. It was a wonderful time. I saw Edwin there, but he was way across the floor from me, but I didn't get a chance to speak to him.
Yeah, Dusty was in Ecuador, so
I didn't see Dusty.
And then we'll talk about the Gridiron Classic in just a moment, too, but you told a rather interesting story about the Rick and Bubba show.
Yeah.
And then what happened. Tell us that again. That was a great story.
Well,
a great story with a tragic ending.
Yeah, it really was what Rick Burgess of the Rick and Bubba show was relating the other day about a fellow named Rick Cagle. And Rick Cagle is a pastor in Mobile, and I know Rick, and it was about, I guess, 20 years ago, something like that. And I think Rick Burgess, who had been married before, was going to get married to his wife, and then Rick Cagle told him that he wouldn't marry him, and Rick Burgess said to him, he said, well, why aren't you going to marry us? Is it because I'm divorced? And he said, no, it's because you're lost. Well, he had enough courage to confront him that way, and of course Rick Burgess did become a Christian, and became, has become quite an incredible spokesmodel for things of faith, leading to things like what I was just at was the Gridiron Classic, and not Gridiron Football Classic, but the Gridiron ministry event. Right. And but Rick Cagle also said something to me one time that I was in a tough time about 13 years ago in my own life, just a crisis of faith that I was going through. And I remember Rick Cagle, and this is a good thing for all husbands and all men to hear. He one day, because I was really questioning some things in my own life, and Rick Cagle said to me one day, he said, hey John, would you die for your kids? And I said, sure, I'd die for my kids. And then he said, well, John, why don't you live for them? And I thought to myself, wow, that was quite a great statement, and it's really truth. And I've used that same statement to help other people. But Rick Cagle, who passed away last week,
he was at the Baptist convention when you got it.
Yeah. No, Rick Cagle wasn't.
Okay, well, he didn't die there.
He was not. No, he died during the convention.
Okay.
And
at how old?
At 59 years old.
And had a stent put in.
Well, I was going to say Roy was, Rick Cagle had a stent put in at 49. And so he obviously didn't have the strongest heart in the world, but the other night he dropped dead at 59 years old. But had a wonderful impact, and you never know who you're going to affect, and that one statement that he made to Rick Burgess years ago affected thousands of people because of his commitment to Christ.
John, I did a Dear Jamie yesterday on somebody had written in and said they're sick and tired of hearing people complain about how they grew up, how they were mistreated, and they use that as an excuse all their life. You talked about how your dad was.
Right.
There's a big difference between how you were raised up, even though we have similar backgrounds, and how I was raised up.
Right.
My dad didn't ever treat me the way your dad treated you. My dad always told me I was lazy, I was a loser, not really a loser, but would never make it. I couldn't fix a lawnmower, I couldn't work. I just wasn't made out to be a farmhand.
Right.
That just wasn't what I wanted to do.
That's right.
And my dad never told me he loved me. He never told anything. When I say he beat me, I deserved every whipping I got.
Right.
And but your dad, on the other hand, even though your dad drank, smoked, and stuff like that too. But he didn't treat you like that. He always said, good boy, Johnny Lee Dees.
Attaboy.
Yeah. Well, I was talking a little bit about Father's Day this past, and I didn't finish the message, by the way. So
no, I know, but it's your show.
Yeah, it's my show. That was great. Yeah, Jamie's so funny during, as I'm wrapping up my message, I'm stuck because I've got 2 or 3 more points to make, and I'm just hesitating because I know if I rush on to finish them, I won't do them justice, and I'm just struggling. And I said, I don't know what to do, and Jamie says, it's your show, man. It's your show, and, which is great. But yeah, Jamie is right. We all play recordings in our mind. All of us have recordings in our mind. And what do I mean by that? When we're raised as children, there's things that are said to us that will stick with us for the rest of our lives. You're ugly, you're fat, you're worthless, I wish you were like your brother, I wish you were pretty like your sister, we didn't want you. Well, if those are the recordings that you hear through your life, my goodness, that's hard as you go through adulthood. On the other hand, you hear wonderful recordings like, I love you, I appreciate you, I'm praying for you, those types of things. And in my wonderful blessed experience. My dad put a recording into my life, and that was "Attaboy Johnny Lee Dees, Attaboy Johnny Lee Dees," and that's a recording that I carry today and that I appreciate. I'm always hearing my father saying "Attaboy Johnny Lee Dees," and it means so much. Something I appreciate.
People should be in charge of their own mind. I had a horrible father, but
Yeah,
I mean,
you do.
get over it, move on.
But okay, just like Miss America, Miss Connecticut just beat out Miss Alabama, got
Right.
first run up.
Right.
Did you hear her story? Beautiful woman.
Amazing
I didn't
story.
hear the
Moved
story.
out on her own at 18 years old. Took in her younger sister. Worked
Wow.
2 jobs as a waitress to support the 2 of them and put herself through
Through
college.
Wow, how about that? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
And now has a relationship with her dad,
and that's something.
who was an
Wow.
alcoholic at that time. John, I disagree with you on something.
Okay.
You
Imagine
said you would pick that same baby again once they were born, despite the consequences. I have written really and never. Had I known now the way my kids would turn out, no offense, Abby,
You're not talking
why would I
about
pick that kid again if I had a choice?
Well, what I was trying to say, and at least Miss Connecticut can thank her father for some good genes. So obviously,
she was
since-
born.
does, and she looked good in a pair of
Yeah,
jeans.
exactly. Yeah, that's right. Well, no, but
And that skinny bathing suit she had on when she won, too, by
It
the way.
didn't
My
hurt.
dad,
No,
yeah,
she was a
didn't hurt
pretty
her.
girl. But as a matter of fact, I watched some of that. And Miss Alabama and her cut in the top
right.
2, and I was flipping back and
And you
forth.
heard what the idiot from Miss Utah would have won it, they said, except for that answer she
Yeah,
had when
yeah.
she didn't know what she was talking about.
That's some pressure. I mean, that is some absolute
This
pressure.
show is pressure, John.
Yeah, well,
and
that-
something else you said here.
a heck of a show
If you're
today.
married, you're hen pegged. You just hope you have a good hen.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I heard Fred Luter say that. He was a great preacher. It was really good.
Roy, you know what that's like.
And like I said, I really had no real comment about that other than it was kind of funny. But the truth of the matter is, when your children are little, once again, it's one of those recordings. When you tell your children from the very beginning, I love you so much. If I had any baby in the world, I'd pick you all over again. I'm telling you, that's a huge, wonderful thing for your children.
Well, I'd be
to-
lying.
Well, I'm not talking about what.
No, he's talking about
as they're little,
little and growing up.
As they're little, growing up, and
They grow up.
They do grow
You
up.
got to put as much into them when
And-
they're little to make them good when they're big, and hopefully, you said they come back to it.
Well,
when they get
yeah.
straight and get back on track.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is, it's kind of like that song that we sang. We didn't sing. We played "Cats in the Cradle" and "The Silver Spoon." You know, that little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know, that's a powerful
I should have got
song.
Barry Kay to do
Awesome
that, though,
song.
because that's one of his best songs up here, too.
It is a great song. But we all have
learn from it,
recordings.
though.
We all have
Are
recordings.
you
Yes.
through talking about all the good stuff that happened in church?
Yeah.
Let's talk about some other things. Hey, don't forget the Exceptional Rodeo. Sheriff Mike Blakely, Rex, is having it this weekend from 3 to 5 out Sunday afternoon out at
we'll
the
be
arena.
there.
It's open free to everybody. If you've never been, please
Come
get out
join
there.
us.
It is one of the most awesome experiences you'll ever have. That comes up 3 to 5 at the Sheriff's
They
Arena.
have so much fun.
Sheriff Mike Blakely, who's been in office 31 years, will
How
be
about that?
hosting it. So y'all get out there. You keeping up with football?
Yeah.
What's up with Johnny Manziel?
Well, the tweet he made the other day.
Yeah, Paul Feinbaum was on him like stink on
He's
doo-doo
a
yesterday,
freshman.
man.
Well, again, I'm sure it's one of those things he wishes he hadn't said. Something that he wants to be out of college.
Can't wait to leave college. Got into it with the assistant coach.
Yeah.
Already starting trouble.
John, you know what had to happen. It may be happening at Auburn, too, before long, but it's happening in Oregon. Some University of Oregon fans say it's getting crowded in the bleachers. The problem, jumbo seat cushions.
Oh, wow.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I'm sure.
Jumbo seat cushions, Roy. So the school proposes to limit cushions to 17 inches wide.
Well, that wouldn't do me much good.
University. There have been
Share mine.
been
Yeah.
complaints
Sure.
about extra wide cushions taking up too much space at venues with bench type seating, such as the stadium. It includes seat numbers, but just how much. It says people are bringing in to give more comfort to their bottoms than their backs.
Sure.
And now I think even some schools, or all schools, are about to National Football League announced last week it is banning fans from carrying seat cushions into all of its 32 stadiums. It was a security decision because cushions can be used to conceal explosive devices.
Oh, yeah,
Good
absolutely.
point.
It is a good point.
Yeah.
And you hate to think of it that way, but it's true.
But somebody will do something stupid
Well,
like that.
exactly. And there's all kind of different widths of seats naturally. You know, somebody is little one, and it's.
But they're saying it has been increasing in frequency. People bringing extra wide
Oh,
cushions.
Sure.
Well, they want to be comfortable.
But also the person sitting next to them is, has to be like.
That's why they need to be taking a handful of them vitamins from Roy each and every day to ensure themselves that it won't get out of hand. So you're going to finish this up Father's Day thing?
Supposed to, yeah. It's supposed to. I was going to say seats. Nancy and I got on the plane the other night, and every seat was taken. Every seat was taken. And there's only this one little seat, and there's these two big guys sitting there. There's one little tiny seat. And I just said...
That was yours?
No, I said, guys, I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to put her in there, because her width is much less than mine.
So you already get the seat together?
No, we didn't. It was just...
Well, the airlines are changing their seats now. They're adding another row, so you get even less leg room.
Oh, wow.
We don't fly a lot, so that don't bother me. Did you hear Tebow speak?
Yes, that was wonderful. It was really, really great. Tim Tebow is a tremendous young man and just gives all credit and glory to the Lord.
Well, why is he such disliked in the National Football League?
Because he does that.
Well, I think that's overrated. I think plenty of people respect and admire him. But then again, light exposes darkness, and you have a person like Tim Tebow who walks for Christ and lives for Christ. It exposes a lot of junk.
I read an article on him yesterday when he was down there, in one of the interviews they did with him. He was that close to coming to Alabama.
Oh,
he did not make his decision up till that morning.
Shucks.
It was
because he loved Mike Sheila.
Well, and he talked extensively about that. It really, 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 really did come to Urban Meyer coming into the last minute in his native.
Like Urban Meyer.
But in his native state's school.
I think he's a jerk.
Well, he did get Tim Tebow, and Tim Tebow was amazing.
Johnny Lee.
Yes, sir.
We'll be up front 9 o'clock and 10:45 down at Cross Point this Sunday. Y'all go by there and visit with him. Thank you, Johnny Lee.
Thank you.
We'll be talking football a lot here before long.
Absolutely.
We'll get out of here.
Their mouth is watering.
We'll get out of here for the day. Right now, we'll take the break for the day. Y'all hang on.
All right. Good job.